Welcome back to Burned Notice, the series that analyzes Michael Weston and his team. If you're new to the series, there's a link in the description to catch you up. This episode begins with Michael using Bly's information to basically just piss him off, with Bly countering by calling the police on Fee, who is in a stolen car. And to make matters worse, she has unregistered guns in her trunk. Now, obviously, Mike does save her, and they ditch the car in order to meet at the loft. When they get back together, they talk about Bly and also trying to get a job. This is when Mike meets with Ernie, a store owner being terrorized by a gang. Ernie then talks about the leader and also name drops Javier, who you may remember from the pilot, which is good attention to detail and a great way to show continuity. This is where Ernie offers $20,000 to get rid of the gang, and we get Michael's famous whistle. And as Mike leaves to plan, Sam calls with a problem. Bly has been feeding Veronica info on Sam, accusing him of cheating, to basically stir the pot for him, which does make it necessary for Mike to meet with Sam and Fee to discuss the job and simultaneously try to find a solution with the Bly situation. Next, we see the team doing recon, and we see Concha, the boss. We also see her ruthless tactics and that she is no mere pushover. Afterwards, the team observe the gang shaking the town down to get a better understanding, and we also see Concha's lieutenant, Diego. And back at the loft, Fee and Mike discuss possible solutions, with Fee also threatening Mike that after this is all said and done with the Bly situation, she's going to beat Mike up if they don't talk about their relationship, showing obvious tension due to their past. Mike then goes to the store and convinces Ernie to bust up the counter in an attempt to convince the gang to leave the neighborhood, and giving one of the best lines.
Yeah, well, my friend said you could fight. He said you were, special forces. Bullets don't bounce off my skin, Ernie.
As he destroys everything, he is noticeably gentle with the flowers, which is actually pretty funny. And after that, two guys try to mess Mike up, but easily dispatches them. As the gangsters lick their wounds, Diego scolds them, giving Fee and Sam time to talk about the problems set up by Bly. And Fee helps Sam to attempt to get back into the good graces with Veronica. As Mike returns to the loft, Bly is waiting, and we also learn about Mike's glasses.
Maybe it's his sunglasses. Where did you get them?
Oh, an Algerian special ops guy I tangled with a while back. He didn't need them anymore. I'd be willing to part with them if you'd be willing to tell me why I got burned.
Bly then offers a job for Mike as a security guard at a bank, which could be interesting to think about.
He's here. The stalker.
He's not a stalker.
This is a robbery. Stay quiet, follow our orders, or people die.
Wait. That's next season. But this show has an interesting way of foreshadowing. However, this exchange forces Mike to move forward with trying to get Bly off his case by recruiting Barry and creating a fake business with Bly. Mike meets with Ernie briefly to discuss what's happening in the neighborhood, with Mike reassuring that they have to stay the course. And next we see Mike disabling a car and pouring paint thinner on it in order to create a dead man switch, but also so that he can steal the gang's money, which is successful. However, on his way out, he ends up with a gun to his back, being escorted to Concha by Diego. When Mike meets Concha, he gets a little worked over. This is where Concha reveals she is playing a longer game, trying to run everyone out in order to buy the properties there. But then she offers Mike a job, and he initially turns it down, but Concha forces him to work for her. She then forces Diego to show Mike the ropes, and Diego goes over his background to Mike. While all this is happening, Diego explains the business to Mike, and Mike has other plans and fakes a robbery with Fee, stopping all illegal activity in the neighborhood and thoroughly pissing off Diego. Then, as Mike returns to the loft with Bly already inside and trying to strong arm Mike into agreeing with taking the job, even setting up something with Fee's backstory that does get paid off in a later season, forcing Mike to reluctantly take the job. Afterwards, Mike and Diego debrief with Concha about what happened in the neighborhood, with Diego showing disdain. However, he is dismissed so that Concha can offer Mike the job of killing Ernie in a fire. And unfortunately, Mike does accept, basically just to further his cover ID. Next, Mike convinces Ernie to leave Miami in order to safely finish off Concha. Back at the loft, Mike and Fee build a bomb with them, and as they're building the bomb, they're very flirtatious back and forth to each other, basically just to build suspense of the end scene where they talk about their relationship. Afterwards, Diego and Mike see that the store closed down, and Mike lying to Diego by saying that Concha wanted both Ernie and him dead. However, Diego reveals that Concha wanted him to kill Mike, and as Diego is pleading for his life, he offers a plan to kill Concha. Then Diego uses the bomb, originally for the murder of Ernie, to kill Concha, dissolving the gang, and after Concha's death, Mike and Ernie debrief, with Mike even giving back most of the money, and Ernie wanting to blab his mouth about what Mike did for him, and Mike quickly shuts that down. After that, Mike then meets with Bly to discuss the job. However, Mike counters with all the side work Mike and Barry did in order to blackmail Bly to give Mike the dossier of Mike's burn notice, with Mike even cheekily driving off with Bly's car. Then Sam calls Mike, informing him that Bly backed off and Fee is ready for the talk that has been building up since the beginning of this show. Eventually they fight and end up sleeping together, and may I add, the fight is actually pretty impressive, with the morning after Bly showing up at the loft with the dossier in hand, giving Mike one more piece of the puzzle. This episode was great, however, it does take Bly off the table, at least for a little bit. He does come back, but very rarely, and I wish we would have had more episodes with him and Mike duking it out. It just doesn't seem like this was the best way to get rid of Bly. I figured if he would have stayed until maybe the finale, it would have made a little bit more sense. But anyway, we also get more information about the burn notice that we don't see it in this episode, but later on in the series we get more information from what Bly gave him. Also, this episode kind of sidelines Sam a little bit, but that doesn't make it lose too many points. Thank you for watching. If you are curious about an FBI team catching serial killers, watch my other series, Inside Criminal Minds. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe.